Tobias, we'll go straight into it. Tottenham. All the press about Tottenham. Daniel Levy seen banners, 24 years, rare tear, we haven't won a trophy, get him out. But are Spurs really underachieving though? For what Spurs are? If you look at the history and the heritage of Spurs, are they really underachieving? Are they?
Let's say Premier League history, recent history.
All right, Premier League history. Let's go from 1990 when the Premier League has started. Since 1990, they have won one trophy, which is the Carling Cup. It's not called the Carling Cup now. That was in 2008. Was that, 24 years ago? They haven't won.
Was it, oh wait, yeah? I thought it was a bit earlier than that, to be fair.
No, 07, 08 season when they won the Carling Cup. We've got to remember the old Wembley was broken down in 2000. And it took, 3-4 years to get built. So that's how long Spurs have won one trophy. If you break it down like that, just looking at Premier League, are they really underachieving? Well, compared to the big boys, compared to the Liverpools, Man Uniteds, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, are they really underachieving if we break it down?
They're underachieving in where they are now, currently. Yeah, and I think they're underachieving in the fact that you expect them, or they would have expected to win one of the cups at a minimum. You know, especially when you got people like Wigan, West Ham, they're winning like trophies. So I think when they look at it like that, then that's where the frustration lies, isn't it?
Yeah, but Tobias, you got to look at only one team can win a trophy. So if you got teams like
only one team can win the league.
And yeah, but only one team can win a trophy in a sense of if you're in that competition. So you've got Man United in a sense of the heritage of Manchester United. Every trophy, even it depend, regardless what team they've got or what manager they've got, Manchester United Football Club, any trophy or any competition they're in, what do they expect to do? Win. Same with Liverpool, same with Arsenal, same with Chelsea, same Man City. So any winning club with heritage, which the clubs I've just named, they expect to win. So are Spurs really, like I said, are they really underachieving?
Well, listen, I hear the banners, I hear the owner talk, because I think most teams have got the frustration with the owners. I think everyone's got to come to the realization now that these owners now are businessmen. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you're not going to have the owners. Not everyone can have the owners that the cities in Newcastle have had, or when Abramovich was at Chelsea, where they're just pumping money in it. The main goal.
PSR is real now. They've realized it. Like they're deducting points. Like you've got to be in this PSR thing because you are getting points deducted. So you've got to be careful.
Tottenham have never been in that issue anyway, because they don't live above their means like that. So they've been in a way, you can say, a properly run football club. In a way, if that's what you're looking at from a business model, because they everyone always lords after Levy for how he drives a hard bargain, so he gets top dollar for his players. Very rarely do you get players go without paying the top dollar, or he doesn't want them anymore. So it works that way. In fairness, I think he tried in the previous managers with the Jose and Conte to win trophies. I think he has actually tried, because he employed those.
Okay, Tobias. Okay, Tobias. Sorry to cut you, but you just talked about the two top managers, elite, world-class managers in Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte. They've both gone to Spurs, won nothing.
Yeah, but
nothing. Everywhere they've gone, but Tobias, everywhere they have gone, they have won. Even if you do not like Jose, his style of football, how he is, his mannerisms, say with Conte. But one thing you could always say, every club they go to, they win. Look at Conte's doing at Napoli. They look like they might win a Scudetto since he's gone there straight away. He goes to Chelsea, wins straight away. Jose, the same type of thing. They go to Spurs and win nothing.
Yeah, but that's true, because Mourinho had the opportunity with the League Cup, and Levy said, "You know what? I'm not having this guy holding me over a barrel and winning the first trophy in how many years? So I'm going to sack him before the final." That's where the frustration I think lies in for the Tottenham fans, because that's just crazy work. Yeah, but yeah, you talk about the managers, but then managers are used to an open checkbook.
It's just who we are, mate.
It's just. Yeah. So usually these managers work off an open checkbook. Yeah, they do have more or less. Like, come on, he's got Napoli and put in Lukaku. Like McTominay and them, man. Like they don't go in and not spend money.
Yeah, but Spurs have spent some sort of money though. They got
They've
like they
spent
haven't
money.
spent. They spent money.
They've backed Ange, but then it's off the back of selling Harry Kane, isn't it?
Did Harry
It's like
Kane
when
go
they
on?
backed, was it
yeah.
Ramos when they sold Bale?
Yeah.
They will spend the money, but it's similar to how you lot did it when you sold Coutinho.
Yeah, but they spent it on duds though. That's the thing.
That's irrespective, isn't that? That's secondary.
Because I don't feel the players they bought. I don't know if they're Angie's players or someone like Brennan Johnson's a good player, but for the money they spent, Brennan Johnson wouldn't get into Nottingham Forest's team now, and where they got him from. He wouldn't. He's not better than Alanga or Hudson-Odoi. If you look at the players they have bought, yeah, Kulusevski was really good, but that was from Antonio Conte. But you look at
he was on loan, and then and in the end, signed him.
Yeah, but he was Conte. Conte got him on loan.
But in fairness, they backed him, isn't it? Kulusevski, they got him for a deal. Van der Ven got him for a deal. What, 35 mil? Looks decent player. They've got a couple of players like Maddison, decent price for what it is.
Yeah, but he's a player that none of the big clubs didn't look at him. None of the big clubs, the Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea didn't look at him. He's not. If Spurs are saying who they are, Maddison would not have batted an eyelid if he was going. The clubs like Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal wouldn't have looked at Maddison. So if Spurs are such a big club, why are they looking at players like Maddison, Brendan Johnson, Tino Werner?
Yeah, but Brendan Johnson, in fairness to him, I wasn't his biggest fan when he went there, but he's put up numbers. So if that's what you're looking at, he's done well with numbers. The Werner one's crazy. There's got to be a separate conversation about Werner, because at one point Werner was like, everyone wanted him. I don't know. You've got to be so lucky.
Dodged the bullet. Dodged the bullet. Oh, mate.
Oh,
dodged the bullet.
God. Why
we could have been Spurs. Oh, quality.
Dodged the bullet. Werner would have been, yeah. But that's secondary. But that Destiny Adogu and Porro and Basuma was a decent signing when you look at it. So I think they've backed him. They made some decent signings. Unfortunate with injured. Vicario looks like a decent signing, goalkeeper.
Van der Ven's a beast.
But the style of play,
it's killing him.
Again, which what everyone lords after, is it seems like it's very intense on the body with schedule. When you're playing that many games, and he's not a man for rotation, and he doesn't. He's set 11 kind of guy. So once he's got that 11, they will play till the end of time. Son's not been putting up the same sort of numbers that he was previously. I think age could be catching up with him. So injuries is the key point, and they do sign for the future, like the Archie Gray, that Odebear was it from Burnley.
Okay, so all these players you're saying, I don't believe they're Angie's type of players. Then is it Daniel Levy's just doing everything? Daniel Levy's buying the players.
What is Angie's type of players? From what we
I
know,
don't know. I don't know.
Man from the J League. That's all we know, because at Celtic, that's all he done was buy a man from the J League. A bunch of runners from there. So we don't know what Angie's type of player is it?
Okay, so what is the main reason why Spurs are always underachieving since the Premier League started? Really, they've underachieved. They've done really nothing really in the Premier League. Well, so why is it a cultural thing? Is it the chairman? Because it can't be the managers, because they've had some of the best managers on the planet, and they still haven't won.
Their biggest problem is their best Premier League manager in their eyes and the hero is someone that didn't win anything. Poch Poch he got that Champions League final forever will be in their heads, and finishing, was it second or third to Leicester when they won the title. So that within itself it was a massive gap. Like when they had their opening, Poch was there. A lot of teams were in transition. They had that season with Leicester, and they just couldn't pull through. And that's when they had Kane, Ali, and them, and Dembele. They looked
But
at
even
Wanyama.
but
They looked
even
a problem.
but even before that, when they had Bell, Van der Vaart, Modric.
Yeah,
But saying all of that, but you look at the teams they were coming. Maybe they were a bit unlucky. The teams they were coming like against. Man United was still there. That Chelsea team under Drogba and Terry, Lampard. Maybe they've just been a bit unlucky. Teams are just have been a little bit better than them.
They had that couple of seasons where they could have pushed on. Was it investment? I don't know. Was it Poch? I don't know. Or was it the lack of experience of winning things, of being in that position? Because that takes its toll as well, which is what Arsenal's struggling with currently, not taking them over the line. So it's a whole magnitude of things. Would I put the blame solely at Levy? I think there's been worse out there in terms of owners. I'm not a Spurs fan, so I don't know. I know we've got our separate beef with my owners in itself, but the one thing you can't say is that money's always been there.
But you always can say, like I've said, that's why I don't believe Spurs are. I think they're, to me, they're underachieving at this moment, but to me, they're just basically about par from when the Premier League started. Because if you look at it, you can say anything about Liverpool, we didn't win the title in 30 years, but one thing you could always say, we've won every title apart from the Premier League. Man United never won the league over 10 years, but they've won every title, maybe by the Championship, but they won Europa League, but every trophy since the 10 years they haven't won the league. You can say the same thing with Chelsea. You can say Arsenal. Arsenal always nicked the FA Cup. You can see they're the big boy, and Man City were cleaning up everything. So if you look at that,
when you look at Arsenal, and all you could say was they nicked an FA Cup, that tickled me. Arsenal kill me. Don't kill me. The way you have to think.
I was struggling to get something, but they got something. They nicked the FA Cup. They nicked the trophy. But Spurs haven't won since 2008. So maybe are the fans asking for too much? Are they asking for too much?
Listen, again, fundamentally, they're part of the Big Six. I don't know how much the Big Six even counts anymore, but they made their way into the Big Six.
I think there's 5 clubs now, and the rest are. I think there's 4 clubs, and the rest. You could have a debate who's the other 2 are part of the Big Six. Personally, I don't think Spurs are a part of it now. I think there's new contenders. I think there's the Aston Villas, the Newcastles. I think they are slowly becoming a team between 7th and 9th. They're Europa League guys or the Europa Conference League. That's their level. Because sooner or later, Man United are going to get it right and they're going to be up there. So they're going to be ahead of Spurs. So I think they're just about par. Like I said, no disrespect to Spurs. To me, Spurs have always been that club, that a nearly club. They've always been that. Since the Premier League started, they've always been a nearly club. They've had some of the greatest players the Premier Leagues have seen in sense of Gareth Bale, Luka Modric, Moussa Dembele. They've had top players. Carl Walker, Berbatov. They've had so much top players and they haven't got over the line. To me, I think it's a cultural thing. I think because the club doesn't breed winning, doesn't have heritage like the Manchester United and Liverpool's, Arsenal's. They don't have heritage. I don't think it breathes through the club because you can say anything about Liverpool or Man United when they were underachieving, they were still picking up trophies. Always. There is no time that Liverpool or Man United will go 20 odd years without winning a trophy. You're crazy. That's never going to happen. Even we have the worst of the worst teams. It's just the heritage that what's built into the club. Last bit, go on, Tobias.
So what would you expect from Spurs this season? Let's say they finished 5th last season.
Yeah.
And what would be expectation this season?
Between 5th and 9th. 5th will be great. 9th would be On par. I think that's
they're underachieving.
Yeah, they're underachieving at the moment, but that could happen. A season of underachieving, you can look at it by injuries. But do you expect Spurs to pick up a trophy this season?
They're in Europa.
They're in Europa. They're ahead of Liverpool in the second leg. But did you think at the start of the season Spurs were going to win a trophy? No. For me, no.
Think about it now. They're very lucky because obviously we're as bad as they are. Europa League is not having the same drop down as they did in the previous years with the Champions League. So no one's dropping down into the Europa this season.
But Tobias, if there was a final between Manchester United and Spurs, and how bad, I know Spurs are bad as well, how bad Manchester United are, I expect Manchester United to beat Spurs in a cup final in Europa League. And you would expect it too. You'd be absolutely disappointed if somehow Spurs beat you lot in a cup final.
So if Spurs knock you out of the League Cup, is it devastation?
No, it's not devastation because they got to win it, because they won't win it. Because Newcastle or Arsenal will beat them in the final. That's who Spurs are. That's Spurs.
You know what you're like though. You always, when you say it, man, it comes to fruition, isn't it? Like Tottenham will end up winning it now. You've hammered them like this, yeah. Now watch. If anyone can do it, yeah, it's you.
It's just who we are, mate.
It's who we are. Come on. Like I said, that's Spurs. But we'll see. Tobias, last word to you.
Rashford out, man. Get rid of this guy, bro. Get me some signings, Rashford out. And thank God I've had a week off and I don't have to talk about my team, man. Because we was a couple of minutes away, but I know you was itching. You was thinking.
It was so bad. It was one of the worst games, but we'll leave it to Ange anyway.
It's just who we are, mate.